Oh, yeah. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. Let's get it started off right. Let's nerdvenge. Let's... I don't know. Let's just do some things. And don't worry. Don't you worry at all. Because I'm on my way. Whee! Yeah! Let's go! Let's get it! Oh man, and it's gonna be a sweaty one today. I hope you got a sweatband, some tissues, some napkins, part of your shirt that you can wipe the sweat from. Yeah, not a ton of news, and so I thought we would take today and we would go deep, and I'm talking deep, on a new Marvel rumor that has me quite excited about Battle World films. I want to explain what it is. I want to explain why I'm so excited. And I want to take you through some of my favorite variants from Marvel Comics that I'm hoping to see in these Battle World movies. Don't worry. We'll explain the whole thing. You don't know what I'm talking about? You're like, what's a Battle World? What's a battle? What's a world? What's a comic? What's a Marvel? What's a Feige? Don't worry. I'm going to explain it all. I'm pulling into the tower. I'll see you in a second. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Oh, hello there. What's up, everybody? I hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're excited for the week. Should be good times. Fun, nerdy things going on. Let me try to fix this stupid camera for a second. Wait. Okay. Damn it. Are you fucking serious right now? Are you fucking serious? Holy shit. Holy shit. Are we back? God damn. What is the what? I don't even understand. Oh my god. Guys, this is stupid as hell. Yo, apparently Asmongold's been going through this too. Where it's like a Streamlabs thing. Yo, if anybody has any information on what the fuck is happening with Streamlabs and with just streaming in general, like, let me know. Holy shit. Hate it, dude. Hate it. It's like, when you stream, nothing worse. Nothing worse than like your streaming service crashing and you're just trying to do your thing, get in the zone, perform, have fun, you know, and then this kind of shit happens. Oh my god. Like, I've got to figure this out. So ridiculous. God damn. Anyway. And now this... fucking... Man, oh man, oh man. I got to tell you. Rage. Rage building within me. And I can't even see the fucking... Anyway. Yeah, it's still lagging. I don't know. No, we're not on Wi-Fi, bro. We're on good... like, everything should be good. I have no idea. Like, this... I have an incredible PC. I have an incredible internet connection. Everything should be solid. So I have no idea why the fuck Streamlabs is acting the way that it's acting. Really cool. Really, really cool. Love it. Love it when it does that. All right. So anyway, I'm going to try to recover. Going to try to get the vibe back in, get into some of the crazy stuff that's going on. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Maybe we should start there. How was your weekend? What's going on with you guys? How are you guys? Josh going to make me switch to Campy. Is Campy even on? Shibby, what's up? Says, who wins in hand-to-hand combat? Omega versus Babu Frick. What do you think could make Omega's character better? Hope there's a nerd theory tonight. Nerd Vengers for life. I think there should be a nerd theory tonight, although there's not a lot of news, to be honest. There's not a lot of news, so I was even considering reaching out to Theory and seeing if he just wants to do some gaming today. And I want to go over this one, too, from the Greet Pack. Greet Pack $20 Hollis says, what's going on, man? I promised myself that today I will not mention my cat Frenching his fanny in the chat. So, gonna have to catch up later. The channel, sweaty as Iron Man's junk in the summer. Happy to be a Nerd Venger. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. That's a very generous $20 holler as well. Hey, thanks, Lee. I appreciate it. One-on-one Theory and Snap. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's talk gaming a little bit before we get into all the sweaty multiversal battle world stuff, okay? That's a huge week for gaming. The Hogwarts Legacy game comes out. I believe it comes out, if you do the deluxe edition, it comes out on Wednesday. If you don't do the deluxe edition, it drops like on Friday, right? So that's awesome. And I know a lot of people are really excited for that. I'm excited for that too. Throw a 1 into the chat if you're going to get Hogwarts Legacy and no life it. It's going to be pretty fun. But there's a game that I'm actually a little bit more excited about, I would say. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people pretty excited for it. Playing right now? What? How? Oh, you switch your Xbox to New Zealand? Wow, look at you guys. Clever. It's out in New Zealand. Interesting. Okay. So there's a game coming out, and it's actually a test. Have any of you heard of Dark and Darker? I thought you didn't even like Harry Potter. Oh, no, I like Harry Potter quite a bit. I thought the Fantastic Beasts movies were, like, pretty mid. I didn't even watch the last one. But, yeah, I like Harry Potter a lot. Those movies are fantastic. The books were so good, too, obviously. Dark and Darker. Okay. Dumb and Dumber? No! Dark and Darker. So, it's essentially like Escape from Tarkov or DMZ, where it's like, it's a looter game. But it's Dungeons and Dragons style, and the gameplay is like Skyrim. So it's like Skyrim meets friggin' Escape from Tarkov. And damn. Like, I am actually really excited for that game. And I've been thinking about, like, I wanted to stream. I actually asked Ryan, the Nerd Executive, I was like, dude, are you getting Dark and Darker, and are you streaming tomorrow? Because I would have maybe did a little impromptu stream tomorrow, stream some Dark and Darker, and like hung out with Ryan. He's not doing it until Wednesday. His schedule's a little wonky. So I might either stream some Dark and Darker tomorrow. I might do like an impromptu stream and stream some Dark and Darker tomorrow. Or I'll stream a little bit on Wednesday, like with Ryan, and just kind of hang out. I'm super excited for that game. I think you can start playing like within an hour. You know what I mean? Steve, isn't it great? It's fantastic. It's a fantastic show. So it's kind of crazy, like a lot of like magic-y, wizardy stuff, because Dark and Darker was absolutely blowing up on the Steam charts. It's tested a couple of different times. It's technically not out yet. It's doing like open beta tests essentially. And it's like blowing up. Like, it's kind of wild how many like streamers and people covered Dark and Darker. It definitely got a massive bump. I'm very interested to see how this next testing phase goes. I really, really like it. It's very, very fun. And then you've got, of course, Hogwarts Legacy coming out this week as well. A lot of people will be very excited for that. I'm excited for Hogwarts Legacy, but it doesn't have any multiplayer, right? Like, am I wrong? Or does it not have any multiplayer? Because that would be so cool. Like, even if you were just playing Quidditch or, like, doing duels. Yeah, no multiplayer. That's kind of a bummer, man. Because even a game like Elden Ring. It's not focused on multiplayer, but the multiplayer aspects were pretty damn cool, dude. I did a lot of boss fights with my friends and stuff like that. Jedi Chen. Yeah. I know. It's going to be very immersive. There's no Quidditch at all. Damn. They might be adding multiplayer later. That would be a good call. Yeah. I think that would be really fun, man. I imagine like just doing like even wizarding duels like they did at that one part in the book where they're like on that big table. Like even just some duels like that would be really interesting. Be really fun. But yeah, it's probably going to be really immersive, really, really cool. And then this is the week of the Super Bowl too, right? Am I wrong? Super Bowl this Sunday? Yeah? Super Bowl? Wait, Josh, what games are you talking about? I love the DMZ style. I was talking about Dark and Darker. Yeah, Super Bowl this Sunday, so that you know what that means. You know what that means. We're doing a big old Super Bowl stream. Yeah. We'll do a nice Super Bowl stream. Yeah. Well, this year there actually should be a ton of trailers. From what I've heard, there's going to be a ton of trailers. So, yeah, and we're also going to do like our own little versions of hot ones. We're going to get a bunch of hot wings. And so I'm going to eat really spicy wings and freak out and try to react to trailers and stuff while I'm sweating and eating a bunch of really spicy wings. So that's going to be really fun. Look out for that on Sunday. Should be a good time for that. And one other thing. This week, we're definitely going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday streams. For now, I'm kind of thinking maybe we do a Wednesday evening stream. And your Nerdvenger stream is going to be tomorrow at 11. So if you remember, tomorrow at 11 a.m. is when the Nerdvenger stream will be. We'll hang out, talk about some stuff, chill. And then we'll be streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Would you guys prefer a Wednesday evening stream? I guess it's like the wrong thing to ask this particular crowd, because this crowd seems to be like able to pop in the mornings, but I got a lot of really positive feedback about doing a stream Wednesday night. A lot of people were like, I can come, I can finally, be in a stream live, A lot of people were really excited. Yeah. You should do a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah, it's only like $7 million, huh? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No Nerd Theory tonight? I think we're going to Nerd Theory. I'm not 100%. I haven't exactly talked to Theory about it. I was going to say, just to bring it full circle ADD back to the original point, I was going to tell Theory, I was like, dude, you should just play Dark and Darker with me. Like, what if tonight, the news is light, there's not a lot of Star Wars news out there other than the fact that the brand is circling the drain. So I was like, dude, what if we play Dark and Darker together? I'll stream on my channel, you stream on your gaming channel, and we just do like a co-gaming stream. I think that would be pretty fun. So I'm actually going to throw that idea about him or at him later today and see what he says. I just don't know that he would be down for Dark and Darker. Does he have the game? Well, it's free, and it's just it would be a pretty quick download for him. Oh, yeah, I've seen Theory's puppy. Now, did he only get one? Because when he showed me the pictures and everything, he was going to get two. Is it just one? Play Apex on duos? Oh, yeah, and just embarrass ourselves and get shit on all day? Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I thought he was supposed to get two. Oh, maybe he only got one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Should we get into the super cool, absolutely incredible, dope, nerdy news? Should we get into talking about Battle World? And why Battle World is so freaking cool. Oh, I gotta turn this thing off here. Beep. Beep. I want to talk about this guy. I want to talk about Battle World stuff in general. because I'm pretty freaking excited about what's going on. And now, I do want to say, Amazon sniped the cartoon stream. Did they really? Yeah. Holy shit. Dude, Amazon, what is you doing, man? Like, I want to root for Amazon. I like The Boys. I like Invincible. I'm excited for the Warhammer stuff. But they are so stupid when it comes to copyright stuff and, you know, YouTube stuff and all that, man. It's like, ugh. Stupid as hell, man. Jeez. Yeah, they need to chill on that shit for sure. Okay. So let's sort of frame the topic today. Let's talk about, because we're going to get really deep. We're going to get really sweaty. It's going to get really nerdy this morning. And I hope you guys are all ready. I hope you're ready. Punisher. No, I forgave her. Oh, okay, nice. Good one. Good one. You guys ever do like a little espresso over ice? A little iced espresso? I don't want to spill it, but y'all ever do that? Oh, man, so good. So good. Okay, buckle up your buttholes, get a freaking sweatband ready, and let's get into this. Okay, so I should say that this came, and I did a video about this, I think Thursday or Friday, and so some of you guys have already probably seen, you know, some of what I'm talking about here. There's a bunch of rumors, and I guess leaks / rumors, we don't know for sure, that came out last week. Okay, so last week, most of the week was like, oh shit, crazy, James Gunn, blah, 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 you know, DCU. But in the middle of all of that, some absolutely massive leaks about Marvel Studios came out. Now, I'm not going to talk about anything Quantum Mania in this particular stream. We're very close to that film. Man, I'm excited. By the way, I believe the world premiere is tonight for Quantum Mania. And I think starting at midnight tonight, you'll get your first social media reactions. They might even lift the embargo completely. So we might get reviews, like full-on reviews. Either way, we're going to get reviews by way of like social media, right? So tomorrow's video is going to be me breaking down the reviews, getting hyped up, or being like, oh shit, it has a 3%. People hate this fucking movie, you know, whatever. So tomorrow will be very exciting. Look out for that video. But we're not going to talk about the Quantum Mania leaks. However, hidden within that long list of leaks, which did spoil, you know, the post-credit scenes for that movie and all that, there was a singular thing in there that I thought was so damn cool that was completely overlooked. And it was the idea that Marvel is going to make battle world movies. And so the way the rumor currently goes is that after the Kang Dynasty, every movie that comes out from Marvel Studios, because there's going to be like 3 or 4, I think. There could even be more, but at least 3, I think, movies that are going to come out between the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Okay? And the leak says that all of the movies between the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars will all be set within the Battle World universe. That's what they said. Yes, and you're right, Trev. We did talk about this like 4 years ago. We predicted this. And the thing is, the reason we predicted it is because of the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars and because of a lot of the stuff that we're going to get into today. As a massive fan of the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars event and also all the ancillary stuff, I was like, man, like they can do so much cool stuff. And I didn't know like if they were going to do this in their own separate projects or if they were just going to do this in the Secret Wars movie. But I think one of the problems with the Secret Wars movie is that it has to be like a proper conclusion to the part 1 of the Kang Dynasty, and it's got a lot to accomplish, and it has to be this like its own kind of streamlined thing. And so I don't think we're gonna be able to explore a lot of Battle World in the Secret Wars movie, because a lot of it's gonna be taken from the perspective of these other characters. They're all then recruited, and then they go do this crazy thing on Battle World, etc., etc., right? So what the heck is what is the Battle World? Like, what are we even talking about here? Okay, so let's first explain what Battle World was in the comic books. Then we'll talk about Battle World in the MCU. Then I'm going to give you a list of incredible Elseworld alternate reality versions of characters that I really hope we see in these Battle World movies. By the way, I kind of think that World War Hulk could actually end up being one of the Battle World movies. Because like they keep talking about like World War Hulk and it's like, and I'm just having trouble like fitting World War Hulk into like what I think is happening in the road to the Kang Dynasty. It could well be the case that World War Hulk is a Battle World film, which would allow it to be absolutely incredible. Okay, so anyways, let's talk about what's Battle World movies. So, in the MCU, at the end of the Time Runs Out event, leading into Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, the incursions are happening, okay? So the incursions are happening. The entire multiverse is being destroyed. And it comes down to two universes. It comes down to Earth 616 and Earth, I think, 1710, maybe 1713, which is the Ultimate universe. And so you have the Ultimates and the 616 battling, and basically, like, they both blow up and the entire multiverse is gone. Except that Doctor Doom goes to, like, the edge of the known universe at the end of all time and faces the Beyonders. And these are the beings from the Beyond verse who were essentially treating the entire multiverse like an experiment. And this was the canon at the time. I think they've sort of slightly retconned this, and there's a lot of like Al Ewing stuff that sort of retconned this idea. But at the time, this is what it was. There was the end of the entire multiverse. Every universe in the multiverse was destroyed. And so Doctor Doom, he had gathered up all of these molecule men from throughout the multiverse. He basically put them into a big container. He shot them at the Beyonders. It blew up, seemingly destroyed the Beyonders. And then Doctor Doom siphoned off all of the Beyonders' powers, and then he reaches out into the multiverse and grabs up every little bit he can of the fragmented universes, and he smashed them all together to create Battle World. And so the multiverse was completely gone. The only thing left was Battle World, and it was this world that had all the different universes in it, right? It had Marvel Zombies, it had 2099 universe, it had Earth X, it had just like any and every thing you've ever experienced. The 90s X-Men hung out in a portion of Battle World, right? Like, so fun, and even new fun ideas as well. Okay? And for a while, not only were you getting the main Secret Wars book, but you also got all these Battle World books. So there were like Battle World. I think there was like a Deadpool's Secret Wars, which I think was known as a Battle Zone book on Battle World. And so Marvel was publishing all of these sort of tie-in and smaller books that all also took place on Battle World, because that's all there was Battle World. Okay? And so what I think might happen with these Battle World movies, if this ends up being true, and it's probably like, God, I hope it's true. Like, I really, really hope it's true. But I must just say, we don't know for sure. But if this ends up being true, what this means is at the end of the Kang Dynasty, there's going to be something that happens where the entire multiverse basically collapses, right? All the incursions happen and everything collapses, right? And then what you're going to have is a single universe. One single universe. And that's going to be known as the Battle World universe. Now, it's interesting that they call it the Battle World universe. I don't know exactly what that means. It could mean that there are multiple places that are able to be visited in this universe. Maybe even like multiple worlds. Maybe it's all not just one singular world. Maybe there are still other planets. Maybe there are still places like the White Room, the Citadel at the end of time, all kinds of things maybe still could exist in that singular universe, but it implies there won't be anything else going on. And so I think it's possible you get certain movies that are going to take place in this universe. And the difference is, instead of like a regular Marvel movie, which would mostly just take place in the 616 or in other universes, like in Multiverse of Madness, right? In Multiverse of Madness, they visit all these different universes. Oh, it was 1610. That's the Ultimates. In Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, we meet all of these different characters from 838, and we kind of like spend the most time on 838. What a Battle World movie could end up being is like the 838 Illuminati and the Fantastic Four from the old Fox stuff and the X-Men movies are all together in one singular place. And so I wonder, is it possible that Feige is going to get somebody like Hugh Jackman to not only do Deadpool 3 and do Secret Wars, but is he also going to pop up in a Battle World movie? I don't know. Is what Sony wants to do with the Spider-Man, is that going to be a Battle World movie? Right? Where like, oh, Toby and Andrew and Tom are doing a Spider-Geddon thing, but it's technically in the Battle World universe. And I think one of the reasons that I think this is so cool is because for me personally, like I really want Marvel to ramp up the weird, to ramp up the bombastic, crazy comic book shit that they can do and to put it in the MCU. Because like as of now, what we're doing with variants and like what we have going on, not that cool. Like it's fun, but like Multiverse of Madness, I think gets criticized because it barely scratches the surface of what they could have done. You know? Like we could have met multiple versions of Wanda. We could have met multiple, like where was the other Tony Stark? You know what I mean? Like where are the other Captain Americas? Like what is the deal with that? And the comics have always done an incredible job of using and leveraging these kind of bombastic ideas. Like we're going to talk about a character in a little bit that comes from the Exiles. And like if you've never read the Exiles, holy shit. Like it is so fun and it does so many crazy things with alternate reality versions of the characters. It's like it would be a dream come true for me for Marvel to like do that. If we get to the point where we're talking about, speculating about going to the theater to see these films and they're Battle World films, and we get like just some of the craziest multiversal things that you could imagine. Oh my God, bro. Like for me as a Marvel fan, like this would be the sort of perfect version of what I wanted to see with the Secret Wars stuff and with like the multiversal stuff. So I guess before we get into some of my favorite actual like Battle World characters and some of my favorite variants and stuff like that, does anybody like have any questions about the Battle World stuff? Does this make sense to you? Do you guys get it? Like you kind of get it, right? Neon Hum, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do you kind of get it? What they doing? What you mean? A whole trilogy of Battle World movies? Yeah, so Toby and Miles could be. Slowly, I'm late. What's up? Makes sense, I'm following. I think so. Bro, why are you looking cute today? I don't know. I just woke up and threw some stuff. My hair is a little too curly on the one side. I did find, all right, let's do a little side tangent about my looks for a little bit, okay? Here we go. Side tangent on my looks. This is all Star Wars Sith's fault. Do you need to blow your nose? No, but my fucking nose is itchy as shit. Like the inside of my, I've never experienced this. I feel like one of my nose hairs like got all twisted up and like going crazy. All right, let's do a tangent on the tangent and talk about my nose hairs. Then we'll get back to talking about my looks. Then we'll get back to Battle World, okay? And D Murdoch, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. I know this is the content you're here for. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. My nose is just really fucking itchy, dude. And I was like, dude, am I gonna like stop this stream? Yeah, the covert nose pick. I'm trying to scratch the inside of my nose. Trim your nose hairs? It's probably a good call. Okay, now let's get back to my looks. So the last time I went into, you guys know I'm always like fidgeting with my hair and I'm always like unhappy with my hair and like upset about my hair, okay? So the last time I got my hair cut, which is last week, I was explaining it to the gal that cuts my hair. She's absolutely incredible. We actually followed her from one place that she left to another place. It's really fancy. She's really good, etc. And so I was trying to like explain this to her, and I was like, yeah, like I can't get my hair to like be the way I want it to be, you know? And I was like explaining, and she's like, what products and stuff do you use? And I was like, okay, well, like this is what I use and stuff. And she literally like laughed in my face. Like she grabbed me by the ears and went, ha 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 ha, noob. Okay. And then she gave me some samples of some product that I can only imagine is incredibly fucking expensive because we couldn't find it at any shop. But it's like, it's perfect, dude. It's like a godsend. Like this product is like, it's like this light. It's made for curly hair. It's like this light, strong hold, like incredible hair product. Like, oh my God, bro. I'm telling you. And I really like it. Although I put it in today a little bit too late because the curl here is like whoosh, like a pig's tail. It's like going really, really curly. But all right, now, yeah, like so, yeah, like, you know, yeah, it's a nice hold, but it's light, so my hair doesn't like fall down. Yeah, so there you go. There's your tangent on that. Okay, back to the nerdy shit. Do you guys understand? Do you guys get it? When it comes to the Battle World movies, do you understand? Do you get why I'm so fucking excited? Do you understand why I'm so hyped? Shaving your hair would solve that problem. That's true. Agent Kenobi says no. No. How all this without Doom? That's an incredibly good question. I'm not sure. I hope Doom plays some kind of role here. I do. I hope so. Do they fight for the last Earth? Kind of. Kind of. Hopefully they have a budget for all the characters. True. True. Okay, so maybe if I just get into it and talk about some of my favorite variants and all that, we'll like explain it. So I will. No, can you repeat why you are hyped? I am hyped because it will allow us to truly leverage the fun of Elseworlds, of Battle World type stories, of all this incredible fun variant stuff. Like, and I'm about to talk about all these awesome characters that I hope to see in some of these movies, but that's why I'm excited. So let's first get into this, which was actually a book. And I remember reading this in 2015. And oh my God, did I love this story. It's very short, okay? But this was a book called Battle World #1 or whatever. This is a story called Soldier Supreme, which is written by Joshua Williamson. And man, Joshua Williamson, what a rise that guy has had, by the way. Because he used to do this book, like this fantasy book, man. I forget the name of it, but it was really cool. It was about like this kid who was a long lost person from this fantasy world or whatever. Birthright, I think it was called. And I loved Williamson's stuff. And he was doing a little bit here and a little bit there with DC and with Marvel. Now, Joshua Williamson just wrote Dark Crisis. He's like one of their massive writers over at DC. Crazy, man. Good for him, you know? But back in the day, he was just doing like little one-shots like this, just kind of breaking in from the indie, you know, self-published scene. It was really cool to see. Okay, so anyway, Battle World. Now, I'm literally going to read a little bit of this book with you guys and talk about why it's so dope. A massive patchwork planet composed of the fragments of worlds that no longer exist, maintained by the iron will of its god and master, Victor Von Doom. Each region is a domain into itself. And so the story here starts off as an establishing shot. It says Battle World Journal entry. Wait, what the butthole? Why can't I? Battle World Journal entry 129, 2099. The world of tomorrow is as good a place as any to die. Lived through too many last stands recently. The four have been tracking me across all the territories of Battle World for as long as I can remember. Ever since that damn Dr. Strain hitched his soul wagon to my body after some vampires took a bite out of him. Yeah, it's crazy. So the Soldier Supreme actually has a tie to a what if book from back in the day where Wolverine became a vampire. He like turned all of the X-Men into vampires. Really crazy, really sweaty. And Doctor Strange like kind of got turned, but then he went into Frank Castle's body. So this is like a version of that where essentially Doctor Strange's soul just goes in to Frank Castle's body. Okay? And the four are these assassins sent by God Emperor Doom to go after Frank Castle on Battleworld. Okay? Are you with me so far? Are you with me so far? Do you get it? You understand it? Wait, Confused is separate from Secret Wars or a part of it? It is a story that is taking place on the same world that Secret Wars is taking place, but it is a side story. So while the main story focuses on some different things, this is a story also on Battleworld about Frank Castle's fucking Sorcerer Supreme. Okay. So let's keep going here. Down here it says, and I will be eternally grateful for that, my friend. But our situation doesn't need to be so dire, Frank. We can keep moving. Our options are, and Frank's just like, shut it, Strange. Under the iron fist of doom is no way to live. And then somebody says, hey, Castle, how about under mine? And frickin' Hulk goes to smash him. And over here, Wolverine says, you're to stand trial for your crimes in the high court, Punisher. And then you've got a Spider-Man and you got a Ghost Rider. The Infernal Four, Hounds of Limbo, created when the Hulk, a Ghost Rider, a Wolverine, and Spider-Man were trapped in the demonic domain. In another life, I might have been friends with them if they weren't such corrupt bastards. And Frank Castle's, they're out there and he's like, what's the charge? And he says, you've been crossing borders. Even a Joker without a kingdom such as you knows that it's a fast track to the time out corner. And so this was the fact that Doom had it under law in Battleworld that you're not supposed to cross regions. You're not supposed to go from one place in Battleworld to another place in Battleworld. He wanted everything to be tidy and separated. The High Court will just banish me to the Deadlands. So why don't we just have it out now and save the trip? What he's referring to is that there is a section of Battleworld that comes from the Marvel Zombie universe that they refer to as the Deadlands. And it is a place that they would just throw people off this fucking cliff, like into the Deadlands, and that's like punishment for going against Doom. Right? Pretty interesting. Word from Doom is to bring you in alive, and Doom's word is the word of God. See, that's where you have ourselves a problem. There is just enough spit and vinegar left in me to make sure that I go out in a blaze of glory. And like, this is where shit gets like hyped, bro, because you've got Frank Castle with obviously all of the violence and guns and all that shit. And he makes like astral projection versions of these machine guns. And he's just blasting the shit out of them, man. It's freaking awesome, right? So he's doing his thing here. He says, go. It isn't safe for you to be in this crossfire. Where is shock? Where's the shock is the public eye. Those tools wouldn't save a lower level like you. Now get out of here. Fancy magic castle. They're basically like telling him to fuck off or whatever, right? Okay, and so this part's really interesting. You can kind of see it up here. So Hulk charges him, and he does a spell that calms him down, reducing him back into Banner, and then he turns him into dust. Okay? So, like, bro, imagine this in a Marvel movie. Hulk goes to, like, smash Frank Castle, okay? And Frank Castle just goes, calm, and he snaps, and he does a spell, and it turns him back into Banner. And then Banner's like, whoa, what? What's going on? And then Frank Castle turns him into dust, and he just blows away in the wind. Like, do you see what I mean about, like, how that shit's so crazy? So then the Ghost Rider attacks him, and he freezes him. Then he makes a fucking rocket launcher out of projection, okay? And boom, he blows up the Ghost Rider, who he just froze, with a fucking rocket launcher, bro. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Come on, man. Then Logan like stabs him, and they have like a little bit of a conversation there. He's like slicing and dicing. Doc Strange, who's inside of him, says, he says, "Let me help you. Say the following spell." And he's like, trying to kind of channel his spells through Frank or whatever, right? Castle, if you do this, you'll kill us both. And then Frank says, "Rather die on my feet than be fresh meat in the Deadlands. See you on the other side, Strange." And so he literally makes a grenade called Weapon of Watum and blows himself up. Insanity. And then Logan from the Infernal Four goes back to Castle Doom, and he's talking to Doctor Strange, who was like the sheriff basically of the whole thing. And like, damn, dude, like, wow, wee wah. Like, what a crazy ass story, you know what I mean? Very cool. And then you see how they have all these Thors here? So the Thors, and there's all kind of different variants of them, are the police. They're like the cops of Battleworld. Okay? Very fascinating. Very interesting stuff. Now, look, I don't have this on my list, but I'll show you just to show you how freaking crazy this shit goes. Look at this, dude. Look at this. Look at all of these MODOKs. Spider-Man MODOK? Are you kidding me? Ghost Rider MODOK? Come on, man. Like, this is so wild. Like, look at all these freaking MODOKs. I didn't love this story, to be honest with you, but it is definitely wild AF, okay? So, this is definitely one of my favorite Battleworld books. I love the Frank Castle John. That shit was so cool. I'd love to see that in live action, okay? So that's the first one that I wanted to talk about. Now, there's a couple other characters I want to talk about. Now, I've talked to you guys about Sarah Rogers before. Anybody in chat remember when I talked about Sarah Rogers? Fascinating character, okay? Now, this is an alternate world where the heroes and villains that were assembled for Secret Wars never left Battleworld. They just stayed there. Okay? So they just stayed there. Now, who is Crusader? Crusader is the daughter of Steve Rogers and Rogue, but this Rogue was referred to as Carol, and basically she had the psyche of Carol Danvers. And so it's like kind of like a weird, like, it's a weird situation that plays off of that old thing that happened where Rogue steals all of Carol Danvers' facts. Okay? Now, she's obviously able to control her powers to some level because they're able to conceive a child together. They're able to bang, and Steve didn't die. But Crusader is like a fucking badass, dude. She has the strength and the flight of her mother. She ends up wielding her father's shield, and she has a lot of his qualities as well. Yeah. And she actually gets Mjolnir. She becomes worthy, and so she wields Mjolnir. She is an absolute beast, dude. And it's like one of those things, it's like, this is the fun that you can have with Elseworlds and with these alternate characters, right? So, like, I would love to see Crusader. And one of the things, man, the moment for me where I really was like, oh shit, that they're gonna do Secret Wars. I don't know what it was for you guys, but to me, the very first time I'm watching Avengers Endgame, when Steve Rogers, with a suitcase full of Infinity Stones and Mjolnir, went onto that time platform, I was literally immediately like, dude, that dude's gonna pop up on Secret Wars with that same shit. We've also heard rumors of a Nomad project. You guys know about this? The Nomad project? The fact that Chris Evans is signed, but he hasn't done anything yet for Marvel, right? So sometimes I think to myself, like, well, what could this Nomad project be? Could this be Steve living through an alternate reality where, like, after he goes to put the stones back, he gets, like, wrapped into Battleworld? Or, like, what if, like, from his perspective, he goes to give the stones back, he pops up on Battleworld, So he leaves that time, and when he comes wherever he goes next, he's just at Battleworld. Our universe is already destroyed. Everything's destroyed. We're just in Battleworld. And then what if he then has to spend somewhat of a lifetime on Battleworld, and we get to the point where maybe we meet a character like Crusader, who again is like, you know, a combination of him and another person. So yeah, it could be Peggy. I know that like Peggy is the thing that happens in the movie, but for all we know, he had an entirely different life. Then he goes to live with Peggy and has that entire life as well. You know what I mean? Like, it could get wonky. We're not really sure. But regardless, like, I think Crusader is a really fun character. And, like, fuck it, dude. Like, just do the crazy shit. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see. And it would be very challenging, I think, at this point, to have a character like this just exist. Okay? But imagine this. If there have been many multiversal wars already, what if the Steve Rogers that leaves Endgame meets the Crusader who is actually from an alternate reality that survived one of the like multiversal wars? Like, what if it's a Steve Rogers and Rogue, or Steve Rogers and Carol Danvers' child from an alternate reality that's already been destroyed, but she lived somehow? You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that they could do with this character. And I think it would be super sick, dude. Super fun. Now, the next one is kind of controversial. And actually, let me see. I don't think I have this pulled up, actually. How many of you guys know who Azari is? This would be kind of hard for them to pull off, essentially because of the stuff they just did with Prince T'Challa. But maybe they could do this. Maybe they could make this work. How many of you guys know who Azari is? Aziz Ansari? No. No. So, Azari T'Challa T'Chaka is the son of Storm and Black Panther. Yeah. So this is actually from a show that I think somebody mentioned to me recently, Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow. Somebody literally like name dropped this and mentioned this to me like last week. And so I've actually never watched this show. I want to sit down and watch it. But I know Azari from HeroClix. So he came in as a HeroClix. Oh, it's a movie? I thought this was a show. No? Is it a movie? I thought it was a show. No? Oh, so it is a movie. Holy shit. Okay, definitely have to watch that. Yo, okay, cool. I have to watch that. We should have watched this on Saturday. Maybe we'll watch it again later. Okay, so anyways, regardless, dude, I love the idea of Storm and T'Challa having a son and him like having Black Panther powers and also some of the lightning powers that Storm has. Oh my God. Yeah, it has the Maestro, doesn't it? Yeah. So that's what like, okay. And you know, the other thing that's really weird here, and look, it's just ADD Josh moment here. I want you guys to remember this guy's name, Christopher Yost. Maybe you've heard me talk about Christopher Yost before, but this guy is like, he is like low key one of the pillars of Marvel's success over the last 10 years, including in the MCU. Christopher Yost has helped them do a lot of writing, even in the MCU movies. He will be like credited sometimes as like a story consultant and stuff like that. Did Yost do X-Men Evolution? Probably. He did a ton of different things. He's done the new Avengers Disney stuff like Earth's Mightiest Heroes and all those other shows. Ultimate Spider-Man, all those stuff. Like Yost has done a lot of that. He's also done a lot of comic book stuff. But a lot of these ideas from like this film or, you know, the original Exiles run, other like really crazy, I feel like all of this stuff is stuff that they want to pull from for Secret Wars and potentially Battleworld. right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just think there's been a sort of pre-established brain trust of super nerdy people that have already found the most fun, the most incredible stuff that's Elseworldy that you could bring in. Now, another person, I wasn't even going to click on this, but let's click on this guy. James Rogers. This was a character that was rumored to even be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, I have no idea if this was like an actual rumor, if this was just somebody pulling it out of their ass, or if this was something that was on a whiteboard somewhere that got abandoned. But do you guys remember the rumor that Steve Rogers and his son was going to pop up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I don't know if any of you guys remember that. But this would have been pretty wild. This is the son of Captain America and Black Widow. Okay? Very interesting. Yeah, Stephen Natt's son. Yeah. So it would be pretty wild to see something like this or somebody like this established and brought into like an Elseworld or something like that. Really, really crazy. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, now we're going to get pretty crazy, pretty sweaty, and I have no idea if they would be able to figure this out. There were no such rumors. That is a lie. Dude, I bet I could, if I wasn't just super lazy and I had a bunch of other stuff to do, I could go back and look at my videos. I'm sure I covered this in a video, Tren. Or should I call you Tren? Okay, anyway. Y'all ever hear of Brother Mutant? Where's Trev at? Trev might know about this guy. Running out of towels? Oh, yeah, it's about... Dude, grab another towel. Because it's about to get sweaty. Yeah, Trev knows about Brother Mutant. Who dat? I'm so glad you asked. This character comes from the Exiles. And holy shit, is this a fun character. If you're a big old nerd like me, dude, this is the kind of shit you live for. Y'all know about the Scarlet Warlock? In an alternate reality, the Scarlet Witch was a man. And not to be sexist, but that's probably bad. Okay? This guy was doing some crazy ass shit. Crazy ass shit. Okay? One of the things he did was he tried to imbue Magneto with the adamantium skeleton of Wolverine. Okay? And he fucked it up, basically. Okay? And what happened was Wolverine, Magneto, Quicksilver, Mesmero, and the Scarlet Warlock all merged into become a singular being. And that being was Brother Mutant. And this dude was ridiculously powerful. Like, yeah, Wanda Giga Chad. Dude, this dude, Chad Nito. That's a great name for him, actually. It's Chad Nito. This dude, man. He was a problem, dude. He was a fucking problem. Okay? And they had to, like, do a whole new Exiles team. And then they had a whole bunch of Wolverines. They went around the multiverse and grabbed up all of these different Wolverines because Wolverine is the best at what he does. And so they grabbed a bunch of Wolverines, a new Exiles team, and they took them out. I don't even remember how they took them out, to be honest with you. But, like, bro. Like, let's go. Like, let's do some crazy-ass shit like this. Like, come on, man. Like, imagine, like, the intro where, you know, it's on some kind of part of Battleworld, right? And they're trying to do something to take over the God Emperor Kang, right? And you've got the like Scarlet Warlock and Magneto and Wolverine, all these people gathered around, and they're and Scarlet Warlock's got a Darkhold, and you know, basically just being like, "Are you sure this will work?" And Scarlet Warlock's like, yeah, bro, like, come on, man. Of course it's going to work. And then they fuck it up. And then Brother Mutant. They merge them all into... Oh, my God, bro. Whew. That shit would be sick. So I would love to see something like that. And then we're getting pretty crazy here. I don't know if they could do something like that. This next one's also really crazy. But I would love it. One of my favorite variants in the entire Marvel multiverse. Nathaniel Gray from Earth 295. Oh, man. Let's get a little sweaty on this one. How much do you guys know about Cable? Do you know that at one time, Cable fought the Silver Surfer while also levitating an entire fucking city? Do you know that? Yeah, Cable's a bad man. And here's the deal. What is Cable? What is he? Well, he's literally like the most powerful mutant. According to Mr. Sinister, this is like the most powerful mutant, the highest potential mutant that ever was. So essentially, like, what Cable is, even in our timeline, is Mr. Sinister trying to create the perfect, most powerful, craziest Giga Chad mutant that there ever could be. Strife also. Strife is like a clone. It's basically his clone brother. So what he does is he gets a clone of Jean Grey, Madeline Pryor, and he gets a Cyclops, and he basically puts their blood together, and boom, you get Cable. Now, through timey-wimey, bizarro, crazy shit, he is infected with what is known as the techno-organic virus, okay? So when you see Cable, like when you see Josh Brolin's Cable, or you see Cable in the comics for most of the time, he's partially metal, he's got the metal arm and all that. So here's the deal. Cable, without the techno-organic virus, is damn near unstoppable. But Cable, in reality, is way less powerful because he's using his incredible power to hold the techno-organic virus back. So, like, essentially, he's, like, using his godlike psychic and, you know, like, just crazy psychic force blast optic crazy shit power to hold the techno-organic virus at bay. Otherwise, it would just destroy him. Now, this variant is a version of Cable that doesn't have the techno-organic virus. And he becomes like a fucking god, dude. He's like a messiah to them. He's crazy. He becomes like a mutant shaman. A lot of fun powers. He interacts a little bit with the 616 timeline as well, and kind of does his thing. They kind of like bring him into stories occasionally to do crazy stuff. But regardless of all of that, like, as I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, so you've got Josh Brolin as Cable, right? And oh man, it would be crazy if they brought him back, right? But what if they go and with Brolin and with Wolverine, they go to this alternate reality and they find X-Man, who is this, again, this godlike version of Cable, and they're like, bro, like, we need you. We need super powerful, crazy people, and you are one of those people. And then you get like Brolin to kind of look like Jesus a little bit. Give him like the beard, give him the crazy long hair, give him this dope as hell robe get up, and, you know, give him the crazy X tattoo, and let's do X-Man. Why not? Why not? I think it would be absolutely incredible. Shit would be hype as hell. So, next one. King Thanos. We've talked about King Thanos before. Do you guys know about King Thanos? Get this pulled up here. King Thanos. You know about this guy? We've talked about this guy before. By the way, teased officially by Marvel Studios. This guy is the villain of one of the Disney rides. And even Feige like explained, he was like, this is a version of Thanos where he wins. He beats all of the Avengers. And in the comic, which is absolute insanity, like, this dude becomes so ridiculously powerful. Like, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, who's also like an incredibly powerful being, is like his servant. he takes the Hulk, and this is the Hulk at like the end of time, and basically like makes him his dog, puts him on a leash, does crazy stuff to him. He kills Galactus and makes a throne out of Galactus's head. He's just like absolutely absurd. So freaking powerful, right? And I gotta say that I don't know that Marvel would do King Thanos in a story about Kang as being like the Beyonder and being this super powerful person, because you feel like it kind of feels like Thanos would maybe take some of that shine away from Kang. But my current theory here, guys, is that King Thanos could be teased in Secret Wars in a Battle World project, and I think King Thanos is the villain after Secret Wars. I think that a version of Thanos that is multiversal, perhaps tapped into the heart of the universe, perhaps just this version here of like Thanos wins, I think King Thanos will be set up as the next big villain. It's even possible it could be Doom. It absolutely could be Doom, Kendall. It could be Doom. But King Thanos, I have this feeling that like there'll be this moment in the Secret Wars movie where the Beyonder Kang is like comes to some crazy realization. And there's all kinds of different ways they could do this. Like they could do the God Query. They could do like the Black Infinity Stone. There's all kinds of like crazy comic book bombastic shit they could throw into the mix, where essentially all of a sudden Beyonder Kang is going to be like, oh shit, there's actually somebody above everything I thought there was that's still pulling strings, and it's King Thanos. Like, holy shit. Like, that would be nuts. You know, like that would be absolutely wild. But a very, very crazy character. Super, super fun. I'd love to see it. Now, this is one that I've talked to you guys about before. And I don't just want to talk about this character, but I want to talk about this, like, this whole story that Al Ewing has done. And this would be Old Man Phoenix, okay? So there's this really crazy story that Al Ewing was doing that talks about all of the different characters that exist at the end of time. And so if you think about it, right? Like, at the end of time, there would be certain characters. Hulk would be one of those characters. Logan would be one of those characters. Thor would be one of those characters. Doctor Doom is one of those characters in this particular run here, okay? Old Man Phoenix is an old version of Logan that becomes the host of the Phoenix Force. His claws are said to be so hot that he could cut a fucking star with them. He is like insanely OP, absolutely dope as hell, incredible. And I think it would be so cool if you get Hugh Jackman Wolverine, he's helping the heroes out, but then they go to find one of his variant versions, and they go to the end of time and they find Old Man Phoenix. Like, and dude, they have this incredible battle with this god version of Doom, where it's essentially King Thor, like old King Thor at the end of time with like all the all power stuff. He's just like this super crazy powerful version of Thor. And he actually goes, King Thor resurrects all of Earth. Like at the end of time, he resurrects all these people from Earth. He goes out to find life in the universe, and he finds the Phoenix Force. And the Phoenix Force is pissed at him because he's like, you've just brought the wrath of Doom back to Earth. This shit's crazy. What are you doing? He ends up sacrificing himself, putting the Phoenix Force power into the hammer Mjolnir, and you have old King Thor with Phoenix power, and he finally takes God Doom out. It's like as a nerd, you're just like, oh my god, full on boner. I fucking love it. And dude, why not, bro? Like, if you're going to have Beyonder Kang, and you're going to make Kang so powerful that he can manipulate the cosmos, how the hell is regular ass Wolverine going to do anything? He's not. He's not. But if you grab up a version of Wolverine from the end of time that also has the Phoenix Force, now we're fucking talking. Now we're talking. Now, maybe you have a chance to go against them. It would be sick, dude. So, in conclusion, just do it, Feige. Just fucking do it. Like, go crazy. And if you don't think that it's the place to do it in the actual Secret Wars movie, in any one of these Battle World movies, like, this is the kind of stuff that you can sprinkle in. You know? It's amazing. And like, there's so many more. There's so many more. The Fallen one. Norrin Rad. Why not? Why not? Doctor Doom. All these crazy versions and variants of Doctor Doom, which it doesn't seem like they're going to do because they really want to keep the focus on, Kang and all of that. But, like, this is the place, and, like, these would be the kind of movies that you could do stuff like this. Like, Doctor Doom. Like, Howard the Duck version of Doom. Am I banned? No, you're not banned. Like, get wild with it, Marvel. I would love it, dude. Like, this is the time. This is the opportunity. This is the time. So, it's years away at this point. We don't know for sure if it's true. But I think Battle World movies, like, oh my God, like, imagine us going to see these Battle World movies and seeing the wildest shit you can imagine. The craziest stuff. Chad Nito and Doctor Doom. Let's get it, dude. You know? I'm excited. The era that we're about to enter for Marvel, and it starts with Quantumania in just about a week's time. Oh, baby, baby, baby. The era we're about to start, I'm so excited for Marvel. I haven't been this excited for Marvel in a long time. And that Battle World shit, man, like, it got me very hyped up. How many blinkers, bro? Oh, yes. The answer to the question, how many blinkers, is yes. Yes. So that's the presentation. That's my pitch. And I'm quite excited for it. Marvelous Menace, thanks for the first super chat, brother. I'll get into that in just a second. Would Disney ever constitute both Phoenix storyline and the Wolverine at this time? I think they could. I think they could do it. Yeah. I'm excited, man. Okay, should we get into a little Q&A, guys? Or did you want to, like, watch any more videos? I think Rob, Comics Explained, he dropped a video about The Authority. We can watch that. You want to watch some videos, or should we just get into Q&A and call it? What do you think? What do you think, chat? Culty put out a new vid? We just watched 2 Culty vids back to back. Would you like to try my brownies? I would love to. Let's see, a Q&A, video. Play Rob. Let's watch this Rob video. Do what you like, kid. Oh, thanks, man. No, I like, obviously, I'm a big fan of Culty. I'm a big fan of Rob. They both do incredible work. Okay, let's look at Rob's new video about The Authority, because I'm super hyped up on The Authority. And a lot of y'all are not excited enough about The Authority. And I find it to be pretty disappointing. You know, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Okay? So let's correct that. Let's watch this video. Then we'll probably get into Q&A. And then I'm going to go make some videos, clean my office. And I'm also going to download Dark and Darker and play it for the rest of the fucking day. Let's go. All right, ready?
announcement about The Authority being a film that DC Studios is producing, I figured we would cover Volume 1. The Authority does exist in DC Comics at this point in time, particularly with Superman and The Authority, but it's a wholly different team separate from the one that we're going to see in the film. Hence the reason why we're covering this story instead of Superman and The Authority. We will cover that story. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. But we're going to kind of cover the origin of the traditional Authority team first. So what this does is this initially opens up in New York City, and it picks up with two people. The first one is Jackson King, and the second one is Christine Trelane. Now, here's the thing about these two characters. Them being introduced is not arbitrary. The nature of Authority is that it's actually a follow-up team. It's a secondary team. The team that came before Authority was a team called Stormwatch. And the idea behind Stormwatch is that they were basically a team sanctioned by the United Nations as a combination of a protective force as well as an offensive force against whatever threats may endanger.
Bro, I love this 90s style, man. It evokes a lot of like Liefeld, you know, Jim Lee, like, dude, you know, Capullo. Love this shit. Those were the days. Those were the fucking days.
The world in a capacity that they were needed, but also in a humanitarian capacity, in the sense that like they would help other nations if they needed it or something along those lines. But think of them as like the Justice League if the Justice League was sanctioned by the United Nations and operated on behalf of the United Nations.
Okay.
Now the original Stormwatch team is, by all standards of measurement, basically dead, right? They're, or at least defunct. Jackson and Christine were part of the original Stormwatch team. And because the team doesn't really exist in any capacity anymore, you do have kind of like Jenny Sparks, we'll talk about her here in a second, as well as like the engineer, the shaman, Apollo.
Oh my god, the shaman. I love the fucking shaman, dude. The way he dies, spoilers, is so fucking brutal.
Other people. But the thing about this is that Christine and Jackson, in light of the fact that Stormwatch doesn't function anymore, they're basically, they've been relegated to like sitting in an office and monitoring threats across the world, and like that's basically it, right? They're not really doing anything anymore. And to a degree for Jackson, it kind of drives him crazy because he misses the days of being out.
What is better, Cyberforce, Strikeforce, The Authority, or Wildcats? I would say Authority and Wildcats are my two favorite, but I like The Authority the most. But I'm a huge Warren Ellis fan. Love Warren Ellis. So
there in the world, protecting it from various threats. But the reason why this is so important is because they're monitoring an attack that had just taken place in Moscow.
And thank you, Mo.
Where literally some force of all these people had just flown in and obliterated.
I'll hit that in a second, brother.
And so in that moment, as they're basically monitoring everything, they're met by the arrival of Jenny Sparks. Now, for the most part, they are aware of who Jenny Sparks is just because of the fact that you had the main Stormwatch team, and then you basically had what was their Black Ops wet work team. Jenny led that team, right? Like the clandestine, you know, CIA type of spy team kind of thing, you know, the ones that operate under the radar and like kill people, just like that kind of group, right? So Jenny Sparks and Christine and Jackson are well aware of who each other is. But what had also gone on here is that with Jenny Sparks having her own team, that what's essentially happened is that with the main Stormwatch team going defunct, Jenny's own team still kind of operates out there. But what Jenny is basically doing is not only grabbing her original team, but adding new people to it in order to form a new team, which they'll now rebrand and calling it Authority. So the best way to think about this is imagine you have like the main Avengers team, right, in Marvel Comics. You got Captain America, Thor, the Incredible Hulk, all that kind of stuff.
Yo, Bismarck, are you getting on that shit later? You're going to help me do some raids?
A team that was out there that was basically a Black Ops team. They would carry out missions where, I know it sounds very unlike Captain America to do, but to basically strike at people from the shadows, which is kind of...
Yo, should I do a Dark and Darker stream tomorrow? Like, would you guys be down? If you can't, like, should I do a Dark and Darker stream tomorrow? If you really want me to, let me know.
Of what he did during Civil War. Right now, imagine the main Avengers team goes defunct by whatever manner and whatever means. Captain America takes his Black Ops wet work team, his Secret Avengers team, adds a couple people to it, renames it, and then goes forward as a protector of the world. That's basically what's happening here with regards to Jenny Sparks' own Stormwatch team. So what we end up finding out here is that the attack on Moscow was led by a guy named Kaizen Gamora, who is actually at one point was an enemy of Stormwatch. What he's doing here, the entire basis behind him doing all this, is twofold. One, because he's just a villain and a dick. And two, because he's trying to get revenge on the world for what happened with Stormwatch. That when he was defeated, the United Nations basically sanctioned him, effectively cut off his country from the rest of the world. And in response to that, he's launching attacks against other parts of the world, basically as revenge. And so the result of this is that once the authority begins to realize what's happening, they're not entirely aware of everything going on. It really is just kind of Jenny Sparks meeting with Swift and meeting with Jack in order to basically say, we need to start putting together a new team, or bringing together this team, adding a couple more members, and then going forward from there. Now, something to know is that Jenny Sparks and the Authority operate out of a base of operations called the Carrier, and is basically a vessel that's always on the move, so they're never in any one particular location. Strategically, it's a smart decision because no one ever actually knows where they are. But the other reason why this is a big deal is because
Dark and Darker, super fun game. It's like a Tarkov extraction game with the mechanics of Skyrim. It's like Skyrim meets Escape from Tarkov. I'm super hyped up. We should nerd Theory tonight. I'm not 100% sure. I'm 50-50 on it, and I'm actually going to hit Theory up and be like, just play Dark and Darker with me, because I want to.
Really, when it comes to Wildstorm and the DC universe in general, that it's a little different from Marvel in the sense that in Marvel Comics you have like other dimensions, right? You have like the Dark Dimension where Dormammu hangs out at. You have the dimension of Asgard where Thor and Odin and all those guys are. In DC Comics, it's a little bit different. A dimension is a place that's slightly out of phase with the main universe, meaning
what in the ADD was what? Squirrel.
That with the Carrier, they can sort of enter into a different dimension, and in doing so, no one can see them and no one can track them. They, by all standards of measurement, make themselves invisible to anybody outside of those individuals who can like manipulate magic. I know it's a little wonky and it seems a little strange. It's the easiest way to explain it without going into overly complex things like hypertime and like the bleed and all that kind of stuff. We will talk about the bleed here in a little bit, but the reason why this matters is because as this conversation is being had between Jenny Sparks and Swift, there's a couple things to know. So really, when it comes to Jack, he can basically interface with a city, right? He can literally communicate with an entire city directly.
Really weird, but really cool power the way they use it.
He knows the strengths and weaknesses of the city, but he can also see everything that's happening in the city.
Look at that. He's like, something has gone terribly wrong with you, hasn't it, Detroit? Yes.
At any particular point in time. That will become instrumental here. When it comes to Swift, she's not that dissimilar from Hawkgirl in DC Comics. And that's one of the things that you're going to realize here is that these different members of the Authority are basically stand-ins in the Wildstorm universe for traditional DC superheroes.
True.
It's one of the reasons why, despite the fact that Jack isn't really immersed in like witchcraft or sorcery or anything like that, he in a lot of ways bears a striking resemblance to John Constantine.
He does,
Outside
yeah,
of just
little
the
Hellblazer.
constant cigarette smoking, the cloak, right? The overcoat and the suit and the whole nine yards.
Yep, I
he
agree.
looks like John Constantine. But what ends up happening here is they actually send Jack out into the Moscow remnants in order to investigate the city and see if they can't pick up on some clues regarding how this happened and why, because they don't know Kaizen Gamora is a part of all this. And so, of course, as Jack gets there, he ends up coming across this symbol on a building, which basically indicates that it has something to do with whoever it is that's launching this attack. You don't readily see a giant symbol like that out there. Following this, Ginny goes to visit the Engineer. Now, the Engineer is a cool character, but she's not the first one. The reason why I say that is that there was an Engineer in the Wildstorm universe before the one that we get here. The difference is that this Engineer is a girl who essentially was contacted by the original Engineer, who basically gave her all the...
And she's got metal titties. Just pointing that out. For like clinical studying reasons. No, just the facts.
This information and all this data just because of the fact that this girl was obsessed with the idea of merging humans and machines together. But what she ended up doing was actually merging herself into a machine, essentially, by liquefying all that information, all that data that was given to her, and then turning it into her own blood. There is an origin story about her, but again, it's it's different, right? It's different from what you're traditionally used to when it comes to superheroes. That's the other thing that you're going to learn is how these folks gain their powers. For example, Jenny Sparks was born at the stroke of midnight in the year 1900. She can manipulate electricity, but she can't create it. So it's they're a little finicky in terms of how they gain their powers and different things like that.
Does look like
now, at this point, we switch over to the Doctor, also known as the Shaman.
Dude,
and
this guy is my favorite member of the Authority. I mean, I like Midnighter and Apollo a lot. Engineer's really cool too, but this guy was my guy. This was my guy.
Kind of pulls themes from a variety of different sources, some of which are, it's really not even pulling themes, it's more using themes to understand how he functions. For example, in a lot of ways, we can use the Black Panther mythos to explain the role he has. While Black Panther was just a character out there in Marvel who is part of the Avengers and has been around for decades, it wasn't until you got to the Jonathan Hickman run of the Fantastic Four that you learned about him becoming the King of the Dead and then learning, or at least using that ability to communicate with his ancestors.
Yeah.
The Shaman is very much the same way. That much like Doctor Strange, he is kind of a quote-unquote sorcerer supreme. And I use that term very loosely here. I use that as a way to just sort of compare the two roles and to give an easier understanding of the purpose he serves. But in effect, he is a protector of the world and uses magic to do so. But he's part of a very long lineage of people who have done that. So he's only the most recent one. If and when the time comes when he dies, a new one will be chosen and they will become the new Doctor. And so again, that's why you see him communicating with those that came before, where it's literally just him understanding what his powers are. His ability to manipulate magic is massive in scale, although over the course of the Authority comics, he'll become more and more adept at it, and really more and more sure of himself, which will allow him to tap into greater levels of power. But I say all that to say, he's arguably the most powerful member of the team. Yeah. And so following that, we switch over to the other two teammates, Midnighter and Apollo. Now, these two guys are exceedingly well known in the DC universe just because they were the standout stars of Wildstorm's Authority, right? They were really the more popular ones here. Truth to tell, that when Wildstorm did Authority, while it wasn't necessarily part of the main DC universe, it became part of the main DC universe during the events or after the events of Flashpoint, when Barry Allen screwed up the universe.
And essentially what they are, guys, is somebody just had the crazy idea where they're like, what if Batman and Superman were lovers? What if they were gay? And what if they were lovers? That's essentially what they are. They're a little bit different. Like, so Midnighter, first of all, kills. He's very violent. He has like all of these implants that allow him to like see what's happening in combat before it actually happens and shit like that. But that's essentially what they are. And look, I know in like today's current like super triggered culture war times, like everybody's gonna be like, ah! You know, about that. They're fucking awesome, dude. And they were invented at a time when, like, it just, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like pushy. It wasn't trying to make a political message. It was just like a cool twist on a comic book idea. I fucking love these characters.
And then DC used it to merge Wildstorm and DC into a singular continuity, right? Into a singular universe. But Midnighter and Apollo have always been a really, really popular team and even a really popular couple because they're actually in a relationship together. It's one of the things that we didn't readily know when the comic first kicked off, but it became pretty obvious in pretty short order that these two guys were in a relationship. But it's funny because they kind of bicker like a couple does in a relationship, but in effect, they're kind of Batman and Superman, right? Yeah. And in fact, in Superman the Authority, or Superman and the Authority, there's a character named Manchester Black that has the ability to cast illusions. When he meets, or at least when he comes across Midnighter and Apollo, he refers to him as like the world's gayest, right? Which is kind of a funny thing because they're like, I mean, basically, yeah. Like, I mean, you got a problem with that, Manchester Black, go over, like, there's the door right there. Get out. It's pretty cool how they just kind of own it. You know, like they step into their own and they celebrate their relationship. And so what this does is it really kind of puts them in the position of kind of being Batman and Superman to a degree. Not exactly. Funny. Apollo has a lot of Superman's powers. He's not as strong as Superman.
He's not. I mean, no shit.
Is very comparable to Batman, but he's not exactly like Batman.
No, because he's not. I wouldn't say that Midnighter is that genius level, but he's a great fighter.
Little differences here and there. But the long and short of this is the group is basically trying to figure out what was going on with the attack in Moscow when out of nowhere, an attack happens on the city of London.
Yeah.
They learn about it. It was
crazy.
Basically the 11th hour, meaning they're really too late to get there in time to stop the attack before it happens. They get there and they basically deal with the attack as it happens. But of course, them arriving on the scene allows them to pretty much take all these different guys out. Of course, it also gives us a display of what their capabilities are.
Yeah.
In the case of the shaman, he basically uses his powers to actually transmogrify one of these, super-powered clones, essentially, by turning him into birds, right? Like,
he turned him into
literally
birds.
turning this guy into birds, and his body just kind of falls apart
turned him
as it
into
becomes
birds.
It's pretty wonky and pretty wild. One of the things we learn about Jack, for example, is that yes, he can interface with a city, but he also becomes stronger the bigger the city is. London is one of the biggest cities in the world.
True.
So of course, his strength is proportional to that, meaning he punches one of these guys' heads off. And then of course, we pick up with Swift, who just like uses her super strength in flight to carry these guys away and tear them to pieces. And then Jenny uses her ability to manipulate electricity to kill a bunch of these guys. So again, that's when we're kind of given this display of what the team is capable of.
And they're brutal,
and what
they
it is
kill
that they can
people,
do.
etc.
But still, the bigger issue at hand here is why was London attacked after Moscow, and who's doing these attacks, right? What's the basis behind all of this? And so when the team is able to overcome these forces and at the very least save the city of London from complete and total destruction, one of these soldiers' teleportation device is basically destroyed by Apollo. And when that happens, he's forced to fly back to Gamora Island to the base of operations. Of course, Apollo decides to follow him in order to get back to where he's coming from and basically bring an end to this whole conflict, or at least gather information that can be relayed to the rest of the team. The problem with this is that once Kaizen realizes that there is a new superhero team out there that is wildly capable and was able to stop his attack in London, he basically creates a kind of force field dome over Gamora Island that keeps them safe from everybody or every other threat that's out there. Once the Authority realize this force field's there and Apollo's on a collision course, they quickly deduce that if Apollo flies into this force field, despite how capable he is, it'll kill him, because seemingly no being can penetrate that force field. Now, of course, this leads to the shaman basically using his magic to slow Apollo down. This super-powered being who's flying towards, the superpower clone that's flying towards the city, basically is traveling too fast. He doesn't have enough time to stop. He tries, but he ends up becoming a stain on the dome, right? Literally just crashes right into this thing, and that's the end of him. Now, something that's particularly interesting here, and this was when we basically got this kind of continued explanation of Wildstorm's place in relation to DC Comics. The way in which the Doctor was able to slow down Apollo was by basically teleporting him to a different universe that allowed him to continue going until he could slow himself down. And when they do have a momentary reprieve, and the question is where in the world are we? That the Doctor kind of gives this little bit of an explanation where he talks about things called the bleed and so on and so forth. So in DC Comics, and really as part of the larger multiverse, while Wildstorm is in a different universe than DC Comics, although again, that changes and that will change with James Gunn's film, that the bleed is what separates the different universes. So if you treat every universe as a brick in a brick wall,
in Marvel,
the bleed...
What's it called? The something gap? It's the same idea. It's between the universes.
Is the mortar in between the bricks, right? That gray stuff that goes in between the bricks and holds them in place. That's how that works. So again, it's just a little bit of an explanation there, but a lot of new readers really kind of came on with the Authority, and so it was a way to sort of refresh its place within the greater DC landscape. And so while the Authority kind of plays a humanitarian role by sort of rescuing people who are trapped under debris where authorities can't get to them and so on and so forth, once their efforts are basically done and it's just kind of left to basically various emergency crews in order to deal with everything that's left, they kind of go back to the drawing board trying to figure out, again, who's launching this attack and why. But that's when they start to realize these guys are basically coming from Gamora, right? They're coming from the island of Gamora. And when they realize that, Ginny Sparks in particular realizes it's the home of Kaizen, and that he's literally launching this attack for what seems to be just petty revenge. At the same time that's happening, that Kaizen realizes that Ginny Sparks and the Authority are above Gamora Island, and so he realizes while it's not necessarily Stormwatch, it's a newly relaunched team that basically functions almost exactly the way Stormwatch did. And so that's when he's kind of trying to pick up the pieces or figure out why is it that they're unifying in any meaningful way. The team of Stormwatch is disbanded. It's defunct. It doesn't exist anymore. So what in the world is Ginny Sparks doing, and why is she forming a new team? I mean, It's obvious why, because like this guy is attacking the world and a team like Stormwatch needs to exist to protect the world from different threats both inside and out. Because there is a point where Earth is attacked from an alternate reality.
Right.
And the Authority literally steps in to protect the world during that conflict. It's pretty cool. It's called Shift Ships. It's actually volume 2. It's a really, really cool story. But the thing about this is that where you get
because a lot of people were saying like, oh, it's going to be like this super grounded thing or whatever. It's like, no, dude, like the Authority fights interdimensional beings. Like the Authority can get really, really wild. So I actually think he could go bananas with that movie. Now, the rumor is that he's going to do like Superman versus the Elite with the Authority. I'm honestly not that crazy about that, but we'll see, I guess, like how that all goes down. But that's essentially the story of the Authority.
Play of villainy from Kaizen where he contacts like the United Nations and is like, I'm going to attack the city of Los Angeles because I can, and there's nothing you can do, and this is because you guys attacked me and defeated me and my people died, and so on and so forth. Just regular villain stuff, right? Nothing really unique or interesting about him. What it does do is it allows the Authority time to figure out how to infiltrate Gamora Island and take down the force field. And in fact, it's actually Midnighter who basically pulls it off. And while Midnighter is able to enter Gamora Island through a portal, what that does is it allows him to work from the inside and then hand information off to the rest of the Authority, while the Authority itself focuses on the new attack that's going to happen in Los Angeles, information that they were able to deduce and figure out.
Yeah.
Once they get there and they make their way through LA, what ends up happening is, of course, the attack takes place. Now, this attack happens while they're basically trying to figure out how to fortify positions, potentially evacuate people, so on and so forth. And so this leads to the team jumping into action yet again, while simultaneously, Midnighter is working within Gamora Island to understand how these forces exist in the first place and a way to bring the place down. Now, what he ends up realizing as the attack takes place within the city of LA, what he realizes on Gamora Island is that this entire superhuman force that's being used by Kaizen are all basically clones. They're engineered, right? They're designed to be superpowered beings and a massive army. And so as he makes his way through there, of course, he ends up meeting Kaizen. And what this guy basically does is kind of taunt Midnighter to a degree, tell him there's nothing he can do. He talks about using a bioreactor, kind of using energy itself, kind of a limitless source of energy on the nuclear level in order to power this entire facility and keep these clones basically developing endlessly.
Take care, Patrick.
Because so long as this facility remains intact, clones can be developed forever, right? So really it just turns into a war of attrition. How long can people possibly hold out for? How long can the military hold out for? But in the taunting of Kaizen towards Midnighter and him talking about how it literally is an endless supply of clones, that it can go on forever because it has an immense power source, that's what gives Midnighter the idea that the dome is not impenetrable. An object with a strong enough force or a high enough level of durability can destroy that force field. And so what he does is he teleports back to the ship, right? He teleports back to the carrier and then pilots the carrier directly into the force field itself. And when he does that, it not only destroys the force field, it wipes out the entirety of Gamora Island. Literally just obliterates it, destroys the facility, the whole 9 yards, Kaizen's killed, and all that kind of good stuff. When that happens, of course, the clone army that's being used in the city of Los Angeles, they're readily defeated as well. But ultimately, the day's saved, right? The story wraps up pretty fast. Like, it wraps up incredibly quickly. And so the way it ends is it's really Jenny just kind of communicating to the rest of the world through what is a kind of massive transition via the United Nations, meaning the team is now sanctioned by the United Nations, that they are here as a new team to basically...
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, good stuff. I'm excited, man. There's like some good and some bad, obviously, in the James Gunn thing
to keep the world.
I really don't think he should direct the Superman movie, but then again, look, if that's what's gonna happen, that's what's gonna happen, and we'll just check it out and kind of judge it as it comes out, and make up our own minds as to how we feel about it then and there. All right, let's get into Q&A. We'll go over through all the member chats, all the super chats, and just hang out. And then we'll call it a day. Okay, so first in today was Darth Shibby, who was talking about Omega versus Babu Frick, and what could they do to make Omega's character better? I don't know. That's a tough one, because Omega is annoying. She messes everything up, and she just seems to be like this stereotypical positive child. I think one of the things that could help is if she saw some real loss, understood that maybe she can't just always be like that, and then she has to curb her behavior. And it would be interesting to see a character like that become a little jaded and become a little more brutal. So that's kind of what I would say. Lee, again, thank you so much, man. Enjoy your Monday as well. Apist says, what shirt do you wear, Nosh? Josh withstanding? Thanks. This is a sweet Vegeta shirt. And yes, that the tongue movement there was absolutely necessary. Don't question it. Greek Drummer says, 1 month, let's go. Happy to support your platform, man. Favorite channel on YouTube. Keep up the great work, Josh. Nerd Avengers for life. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Mo from the Foe says, I too have always felt Secret Wars needs multiple movies to be done right. But how? They're going to release a movie every other week between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? Well, at this point, they've changed. So the movies are a year away, and they might even delay Secret Wars further. I have a feeling Secret Wars might be a Christmas 2027 movie, which is weird. But they'll have time. They'll have time. Neon Hum, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. D. Murdoch, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. You are a Nerd Avenger now. Rhett says, with a $10 holla, I think it would be dope if Andrew's Peter Parker is training Miles Morales in a Battle World movie, and Miles comes over also to help everyone. Yeah, that would be great, actually. There's a lot of fun stuff they could do via Spider-Man variants, Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon, and tying that into Battle World. I think that would be really cool. I hope that that's the way that they go, for sure. Damn, I hope I'm alive. Dude, me too. Me too. No, Vagar, no! Says Nerd Avengers for life. Appreciate you, brother. Yeezy Foshizi says, Josh, are you a Harry Potter fan? What do you think about the outrage over supporting J.K. Rowling, even though hundreds of devs worked on the game? Where does it end? Yeah, look, I think this is the deal, right? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech. I think that people that are really triggered or feel as though JK is like a really bad actor and doing stuff that's a net negative for society, they have every right in the world to express that and to even make calls to action for other people. I think that's absolutely fine. But I think that goes both ways, and that it's totally fair for people like the Act Man to come out and be like, yeah, this is stupid as hell. If you really want to hurt her inner wallet, stop going to the theme parks that you all cannot stop going to, and support this game, because this industry needs to support actually well done games, and the hundreds of devs and the people that worked on this game need their support. Like, we live in a world where both of those types of people have the freedom to express those thoughts, and then you get to decide what you want to do. So that's what I think of it. It's just one of those things. It's one of those internet things. Ben says with a $10 holla, Josh, I'm behind on the stream, but I propose a bet between you and I. The team of your choice to win the Super Bowl, Chiefs or Eagles. If you lose, you have to watch episode 1 of The Last of Us. Deal? Okay, well, first of all, it's going to be the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to shit all over the Chiefs, actually. I don't even think it's going to be competitive. Thoughts? What do you think, chat? Thoughts? I don't even think that shit's going to be competitive. I think the Eagles are going to shit all over them. That's what I think. Anybody else? Like, does anybody not think that's what's going to happen? Like, if somehow, some way, Patrick Mahomes takes the whole game on his shoulders and, like, makes it competitive, I will just be like, damn, like, he is that guy. It is possible. That is the X factor. But the Eagles' defense is ridiculous. The Eagles' offense is ridiculous. They were, I think, the best team all season. They're still the best team, and I think they're going to shit all over Kansas City. But we'll see. We shall see. James Burke says, hey, Josh, Nerd Adventures for live. Can't wait for Ant-Man. Releases on day before holiday at school will be super chill and nerdy time. Much love from the UK, bro. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm quite excited for that movie too, man. Oh my god. Dude, that Friday morning stream, which I think will be next Friday, right? Let me check the calendar here. Oh my god, it's next Friday. Guys, next Friday, we're doing a spoiler-filled stream talking about Quantumania. Get ready. Get ready, because the hype is back. The MCU is back. I feel so confident, and it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but I feel so confident in what this movie's going to deliver. Whew! Can't wait. It's going to be exciting. The Exodus says, 838 Illuminati should trigger the 616 own Hulk against them to spare themselves from an incursion with the 616. There's your World War Hulk. That's a great idea. Something like that would be really cool, man. I do wonder if that's going to be the play. I wonder if that's how they're going to do it. So, yeah, I think that's a great idea, man. Thanks for the love. Sozen's comment with a very generous 10 says, imagine after all these movies come out and they make the Ultimate Alliance style game on Battle World with all these variants. If it's open world like Elden Ring, it could be the game of the century. No cap. Dude, 100%. They have not tapped into that goodness in a total Marvel situation. Like, I feel like you've got some games that do the Elseworld stuff really well, like that mobile game that we all tried to get into a couple years ago and then ended up being a money sink that was not really well done. I had a lot of fun with that initially, and one of the fun things was the Elseworld aspects. I was like, that shit's great. The Elseworld's great. And then you've got games like PS4 Spider-Man, PS5 Spider-Man now, that just nail the character and the individual combat for that character. What we need is like we need a game that can combine both, like the juice of what Elseworlds can do with like that tight, really good combat that just feels so damn good. Like, dude, the Spider-Man games are so cool that just simply swinging around New York is like awesome, you know? So if they could combine those things together, it would be crazy. And I feel the same way about the Ubisoft Star Wars game. Like, dude, they have the opportunity there to do something truly special. I don't know. I mean, Ubisoft is not the Ubisoft of old, right? But, damn, dude, like, they just, yeah, they have the ingredients. So I agree, Susan. That would be great. 34 Virgo says, latest news on Doom, earliest appearance and casting. No real news on it other than the fact that I think he's going to be in a post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four movie. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. It really seems like they're trying to shove Doom down to give Kang the spotlight. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see. But hopefully Doom gets his due maybe after Secret Wars. And maybe they'll just take one of the old Fantastic Four Dooms and give him like a lot of good stuff too. I don't really know. Mo from the Foe says, hurts to say, but honestly, rather not have Doom at all than have a watered down version that's seemingly irrelevant. How's Godson and the gym? I'm back in full paleo. Good results so far. So I'll start with the gym. Dude, it's phenomenal. I feel great. Been working out a lot. I feel strong. I feel good. I just want to keep at it. I'm going back today. Elisa's actually probably at the gym right now. And so we've both been staying very consistent in the gym. I feel really good, and I feel like we're just getting started. So I feel really good. How's Godson? He's doing great, man. He's out there with the nanny right now. They're really great together. He gets a lot out of the time that he has with her. He's so sharp. He's so big. He's thinking a lot. It's great. Now, as far as you're talking about Doom, I agree with you. Like, it's bittersweet because I want Doom to be involved, but I don't want like a whack version of Doom. And like, look, real talk. Like, you can't find the keys. Oh, I have a pair in here. Actually, I have both pairs in here. So, anyway, are you getting them after the stream? Okay, cool. Okay, so the Doom thing. Let's be real. Doom Doom is way cooler than Kang. I'm sorry. All due respect to majors. All due respect to what they're trying to do with Marvel. But you're going to have to fucking convince me, you know? And I think they will. I think they've got some really cool shit cooked up, right? But, like, Doctor Doom is so much cooler than Kang. I'm sorry. That's just straight facts. It is what it is. Not all Marvel characters are created equally. Doctor Doom is that fucking guy. Okay? So it is tough because it's like I want them to do the Secret Wars thing and have it be well thought out and the Kang and all these variants to be meaningful and all of that stuff. But I would not be mad if Doctor Doom kind of like showed up low-key at the end and just fucking took over everything, or he was the actual big bad. I wouldn't be mad at all. Either way, very hopeful with what they do with Doom moving forward will be incredible. You know, and oh my God, if we get Adam Driver as Doom, guys, if we get fucking Adam Driver as Doom, oh my God, bro. Like, that's a good get. That is a good get right there. Holy mother loving lover mothers. That would be awesome. Okay, Angel Stark says 12 months. Let's go. Josh, the most important question about Secret Wars. What armor do you think RDJ's Iron Man will be rocking? God Killer armor. That is an interesting question. It's going to depend on how they're going to handle the Robert Downey Jr. thing. By the way, man, let me just throw a little theory about this to you guys. Do you think that Iron Man in Endgame, did he know about Kang the Conqueror? Do you think that Iron Man in Endgame knew about Kang the Conqueror? Yes or no? Exactly. Angel kind of has it there. He says, when you mess with time, it tends to mess back. You'll see. There's like this weird line that's said there. Okay? Think about this too. Why would he? Because he would go into the future. Here's the thing. This is the guy that invented Ultron on his own. Everybody got all mad, and then he just did it again. Okay? You don't think that guy is going to use the time travel to try to see what else is out there? I don't know, man. And I also go back to this whole thing where, like, Thanos knows who Tony Stark is. And what did he say in that line? He said, like, I too know what it's like to be burdened with knowledge, or something like that. I don't know. I think it is possible that Tony knew there wasn't enough Pym particles. That is a good point. That is a good point. But I think it's possible that, like, Tony, maybe if he didn't know for sure, he could anticipate that there would be somebody like Kang. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible. It's possible. I don't know for sure, but, like, in my mind, dude, like, the perfect way to do Armor Wars would be like, you start that film with Rhodey watching a hologram recorded by Tony, and Tony, like, explaining to Rhodes, like, I'm sorry to do this to you, buddy, but I've got a bad feeling that what we did to bring everybody back is going to possibly make an incredible enemy, you know, coming from time, and I have no idea how to stop it. You're the person I trust with my technology. You're the person I trust to, like, stop that or something like that. That would be crazy. Like, that would just be so cool to me. I don't know if that's the way they're gonna do it, obviously, but damn, would that be cool, man? You know, we'll see. Chase says, do you think Marvel is turning Battle World into its own title in the same way Avengers titles? Could Battle World stick around post Secret Wars? I don't think so, but I think you could do the Exiles. I think in a post Secret Wars world, I think you could do an Exiles team. And I think everybody would accept it. Yo, thanks, Moosty! Appreciate you, bro. I think you could definitely do Exiles after that. And, like, you could even do Exiles. Like, let's say one or more of the Fox X-Men characters still want to stick around. Oh, shit. Okay. Here you go. Got something for you. Exiles team. Like, introduce 616 mutants and X-Men, and then just have Exiles. And have the mutants in, the Fox X-Men mutants there in the Exiles team. That shit would be hype, dude. Pim Prez, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. And Joey Ebb says, pick for live action Damian Wayne. Nerd Vengers for life. I like the kid from the Umbrella Academy. I always thought that kid looked like Damian to me. Now, I know the Al Ghuls are Middle Eastern. I think that kid, if he's not Middle Eastern, I think he's biracial or multiracial, right? He's too old now. I always thought that kid could do it. Other than that, I don't really have a pick. 45-year-old teenager, let's get it. Hello, fellow kids. Rhett Proctor follows up another very generous 10, says, real talk. I'm excited for the OG X-Men to come back, especially Wolverine. But they have to do James Marsden Cyclops right and let him wear the Ultimate outfit or the one from the 90s. Yeah, we did a video like several months ago about like how he could fix the Fox X-Men, and I talk about Cyclops a lot in there and Marsden. I agree, man. I think he needs done justice. I think he needs a better costume. I think he needs to see his powers better. Because like Cyclops is kind of a dude. Like he's kind of that dude, So it would be cool. New Kang footage on the new Ant-Man thing. I mean, I've seen a lot of the new stuff. I've seen y'all see that new trailer that's got a little bit of Loki season 2 bits in it? Oh. Whew. Wait, what? Marvel Snap Quantum Mania Battle Pass tonight? Are you fucking serious, dude? Holy shit, let's go. Dude, why is Marvel Snap like the best fucking game? Holy shit, dude. Marvel Snap is just killing it, dude. I don't see Quantum. Where's the Quantum Mania announcement? I don't see it yet. The new with Kang? All right, let me look that up. About an hour ago. Minute 30. Is this what you're talking about? We can watch this.
You come from above. Like him. He will burn the world to find you. Who? The Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror is the new iconic villain in the MCU.
Damn, look at it. Awesome in that chair. Holy shit. A chair within a chair.
We knew we wanted to go to places that we'd never been, and pitting Ant-Man against a major villain felt perfect.
Audiences have seen a version of this character in the series Loki. This is wild. In our film, he's very different.
Kang is an infinite number of different personas.
An infinite number of different personas, you say?
And you need an actor to be able to pull that off, and that is Jonathan Majors.
It can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. In this film, this is really a side of him we haven't seen. This is his baddest self.
I will take my revenge on those who banished me.
And I will burn them out of time.
I know who banished him. Maybe.
I think the film is ultimately about how time plays within our relationship. Love, friendship, legacy, Ant-Man versus Kang. This is it. People are gonna lose their mind.
I mean, dude, it looks fucking good, bro. Like, it looks very cool. I'm so excited.
You're out of your league, Ant-Man.
Woo! Let's get it. I'm excited, dude. Marvel's back, baby. Enough of Phase Stinky 4. Although I did think it's something that would be absolutely hilarious because I saw that there's a new image out there of Cassie going big. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, so, you know, she's going to do the stature thing. She's going to become like giant man or giant woman. And then I was like, dude, what if Cassie Lang becomes giant? And then she puts on that Megan Thee Stallion song and starts twerking as like a giant. And we got fucking giant Cassie twerking. And I'm just going to literally claw my own eyeballs out if that were to happen. But yeah, no, it looks good. Looks good. I'm excited. Let's get it. Not enough ass? I mean, when it's that big, though. You know? 10 out of stream for going longer. Oh, hell yeah. No, I like going longer for sure. I'd be down, not gonna lie. Thunderclap. Hey, you said it, not me. You said it, not me. Yeah, I'll walk out and never watch another Marvel movie. I know, me too. A twerk off to save the multiverse. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, man, I'm so excited. That's going to be really fun, man. Woo! Let's get it. I'm going to send an important DM real quick, and then we'll call the stream. Boom. Okay. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Marvel Snap stream soon? Yeah, maybe. Dude, I kind of feel like... What if Ant-Man disappoints you like Wakanda Forever? Well, here's the thing. Wakanda Forever was only like slight disappointment. I didn't like... I wasn't disappointed with Wakanda Forever. I felt like it was a good movie. It was very serviceable. There's just a few things that I didn't like in it. And it just kind of comes down to like the decision with T'Challa. It really just comes down to like T'Challa. And like if you, like me, really think they should have just recast, it's a difficult movie to enjoy, I think, the way maybe some other people can enjoy it. But it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. I'd go as far as to say it's a great movie. It just happens to be a film that rubs me the wrong way a little bit. But no, like, dude, that's a good movie. You know? So I wouldn't even say... Now, if it disappointed me like Love and Thunder... Like, I'm going to tell you this right now. If Quantumania is as disappointing as Love and Thunder... It's going to be a rough 2023. It's going to be a rough 2023. Rough. Look, I see a bunch of people like they have their opinions on Wakanda Forever. That's cool too. Like, I don't blame you guys for feeling the way that y'all feel. Like, it's totally cool. And you know, like I know all the angles of it. I completely understand the perspective of Marvel Studios. I totally get it. But yeah, I'm still allowed to feel the way I feel about it. You know, and that's just how I feel about it. But Love and Thunder, that one was rough. Like, that was a horrible movie. That's my least favorite Marvel movie. And She-Hulk is my least favorite Marvel thing they've ever done. So to have those back to back, that was a rough time. You know what I mean? Like, that was a rough time. So hopefully it's not going to be like that. I don't expect it to be. You know, like, I expect this to be a toy movie, man. Toy like a toy. So I'm hyped up. I'm hyped up. She-Hulk the GOAT. Yo, there are people that actually really like the She-Hulk show. And that's cool, too. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Like, you can... That's cool. I think it was booty. All right, everybody. Much love to you all. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the stream. I might do an impromptu gaming stream tomorrow. You don't like stories, Josh? Oh, I know. I hate stories. So we might do a impromptu gaming stream tomorrow. And I think we're going to stream Wednesday night. Either way, there'll be a Nerd Venture stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit and see what we want to do, okay? All right, everybody. Much love. And I'll see you guys in the next one. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video / stream / whatever. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Leave. What a nice start to the week. Nice sweaty stream. Yeah. Nice to be chilling with the homies. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hope the rest of your day goes well. Maybe I'll see you guys on Nerd Theory. Maybe we'll do a little gaming later at night. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see what happens. Either way, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Open up your third eye. Wash out your stinky butt. Keep on keeping on. I'll see you later.